Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon, members of the listening public, members of the traveling public, those of you who are going to and from work. Good afternoon. Good afternoon to the owners and operators of this great radio station, Mr. Neil Iwer George and family, and by extension, staff. We want to say thanks to them. They do a great service here on Street 91.9 FM. And good afternoon to all of you who support us, despite whether you support the batting side or the bowling side, it doesn't matter. You just want to see a good game of cricket. And we do have callers who are just more interested in a nice, healthy, clean game of cricket. And for that, we want to say thank you. And good afternoon, Tobago. Yes, good afternoon, Tobago. Tobago has had a bumper 24 hours. And we want to say good afternoon to Tobago and the Tobagonian listeners. Those of you who tired from motorcade, or those of you who tired crying, tired same way. It's politics, it's elections, it's not an exact science, and it is what it is, what it is. So we want to say good afternoon to you, and we hope that you tune in. Well, I have some products here this evening. If you're looking at the YouTube, please use the YouTube link this evening, because I have some products that might be interesting, depending on, I don't know how your cleaning regime is at your home, at your office, at your domicile. I don't know at your business place what products you use to do your cleaning. I ain't too sure whether you're into blue soap or you're into blue wash. You could be into blue wash, or you into duck. Blue. For the, we're not too sure. I'm not the salesman for these or sales rep for these products, but today they might be of significance, depending on how I'm saying, depending on what you use to clean out your house, the bathroom area, your clothes. I'm not too sure whether you're a blue soap or you're a blue wash kind of person or both. We ain't sure. We will get into that this evening. But what we do know is that Tobago, our brothers and sisters in Tobago, made a particular decision. And decisions have consequences. But they made a particular decision last night. They made a particular decision. So, as far as we understand, the Tobago's People's Party under Farley Augustine swept the Tobago House of Assembly THA elections on January the 12th, taking all 15 seats ahead of the PNM. The TPP declared victory at minutes past 9, improving its result from 14-1 tally in 2021, where PNM's Kelvin Morris had won his seat by just 3 votes in 2021. The PNM spent the rest of the evening waiting with bated breath to see if Morris could retain his Darrell Spring Whim seat. By 10 p.m., it became evident that Morris had lost his seat. Minutes after 10, Mr. Ansel Dennis confirmed that he will step down from the PNM Tobago leader, saying, I support the transition to a new leadership. That was a quick election. I didn't know they had elections last night. Wow. He said the party will seek recounts in several seats, including Darrell Spring Wim, where he said Morris lost by 17 votes. The result continues the TPP's electoral success. In the 2021 THA polls, the PDP, whose members became TPP, won 58%, ahead of the PNM's 41%. In the 2025 general election, the TPP, promoting itself as the sole Tobago-centric party, snatched 2 parliamentary seats on 55% of the votes by winning 13,857 votes in Tobago to the PNM's 11,000 votes. The sweeping THA elections win was predicted by Augustine, but the analysis had shied away from declaring a winner. So, yesterday, we had change over the road, across the waters. Maybe, I don't know whether they use blue soap. I'm not too sure. I'll need to call Mr. Farley to find out if they use duck or blue wash. I'm not too sure which one of these products they used. However, the results speak for themselves. Now, we will ask several questions of the outcome. And this outcome, I suggest, must be analyzed in its depth and not on its surface alone. Because on the surface, the results are clear. There's no question about what the mandate is for Tobago. Now, you Trinidadians here, we could watch and talk. We could observe. Good? But this election is about the people of Tobago. But it does have implications and repercussions for the twin island state of Trinidad and Tobago. And as the article identified, Tobago won the 2 general election seats too with the TPP. They beat the PNM in the general election as well. Now, there's also some interesting discussion on the red side. This will be, even in Tobago, they will be the bowling side because the TPP made up the governing majority of the THA. So the bowling side in Tobago is not having any amount of luck. The bowlers are not having any amount of luck. As a matter of fact, the batting side has won this match. Whether that is totally good for the game of cricket is the next discussion, and we'll have to get on to that analysis much later. But as I say, let's deal with it layer by layer. So on the surface, it is a far-gone conclusion that the Tobago public and the Tobago constituents for the THA election have chosen to use blue wash and blue soap. They have decided to use these products with great success, I must say. You know, with great success they have used these products, and I don't know what the secret ingredients are. I am not too sure. We'll have to engage some of the hierarchy of the parties later down. But I would say that I want to congratulate first. First, you must do the honorable thing and congratulate Mr. Augustine Augustine, as they say sometimes, and his team. So I am seeing that the EBC has given its preliminary tabulation, and it says that on the election held on Monday the 12th of January, it has been completed and all electoral procedures have been completed. On the total registered electorate of 53,239 voters across 15 electoral districts, the voter turnout was recorded at 50.69%. Voter turnout of just 50.69%. That is important. We will get to that though. The distribution of votes received by the political parties as follows: the IDA 181, the PNM 10,456, the TPP 16,240, and the UTP 8. The total valid votes were 26,885, and the total rejected ballots were 104. Based on the preliminary count, the Tobago People's Party has won all 15 electoral districts. The People's National Movement formally requested recounts in the formal electoral districts: Darrell Spring, Wim, Scarborough, Mount Grace. The requested recounts are scheduled to commence at 3 p.m. today. The Commission emphasizes that these results are preliminary and remain provisional pending the completion of the recounts and the final validation process. So, the EBC is saying proceed with caution. Don't get too anxious. But it's looking so. It's looking like a blue wash and a blue soap party. It's looking like that. But the EBC says to hold on a bit. We have 2 recounts: Scarborough, Mount Grace, Wim, Darrell Spring, which I know is the seat of Kelvin Morris, who was the lone PNM member in the THA. So hold on a bit. The recount should have started at 3 p.m. and we await the results of the recount. As soon as I know, I will say, or if you know before me, you say, because this is the third umpire. All views are welcome. All views are welcome. So, I must congratulate Mr. Farley and his team for its dominance in the electoral process. And in fact, from 14-1 to 15-0, if that is what the results are, then in terms of seats, the TPP stepped up again. They took it up a notch. That one goal they get last match, the keeper do what they have to do this time. That 1 wicket you get the last match, you get 1 wicket. Good. This time, no wickets. Just runs. No wickets. Just runs. And that's no easy feat. For those of you who don't play it or will want to criticize, it's not easy to beat that ball inside. That ball inside ain't easy, you know. That ball inside is not easy. So I want you to understand the magnitude of the achievement, because the bowling side is a good side. They did not win this match today. They didn't win the last couple matches. But don't sleep on the bowling side. Don't get too comfortable. And obviously the art of war, mousy tongue. Mr. Farley did not underestimate his opponent. He did not. By any means he didn't. So he went in there with his team. They did their homework, and so be the result. So I want to congratulate them for using blue wash gentle and the toilet duck, the blue one, and some blue soap. Hence, they were able to clean up the election, so to speak. Now, that is just the beginning of a long journey for those of us who get carried away with feel-good moments at elections. You have governance. But we want to live in the moment and we want to be fair. And we have to be fair. And I don't want any of you callers calling in and being unfair to those who have won. Because when the bowling side win, we don't hear the end of it. When the bowling side bowl them out, wickets falling like rain, we do not hear the end of it. So we want to be fair. We want to be objective. It was a good performance. It was by no feat of flukes. You cannot beat the bowling side by flukes. You have to come out and bat. And bat, they did. So we want to congratulate them. Wish them all the best going forward with their governance. They've entered the race of the general election. A young party. That's the other thing we have to. It's not easy for David and Goliath. Wasn't an easy story, you know. Some of us don't understand sometimes what it takes because we underestimate our opponent. But entering the national general election fray against the, I would say, the incumbent and the favorites and winning wasn't easy. And now, if you thought that was a flukes in the Tobago internally, THA election, that match was a whitewash. And that too is no easy feat. But those are just the surface issues when it comes to elections and electoral politics in Trinidad and Tobago. Those are just the surface issues. Those are the feel-good moments for those of you who get juicy, who get thing to drink, who get thing to eat, and you studying who the artists and who artists, and sometimes we study so much of the banal and trivial matters when it comes to these things, but to each his own. I don't want to sound like that, to each his own, but those things are just the byproducts, the hype. And we saw some ugly things at times too, because the dynamic in Tobago is families here. It's cousin and cousin and cousin and brother and sister. It's not what we think. So the effects will be great. The effects could be disastrous, debilitating. So we don't want to throw any kind of a shade for anyone. I am not into that. I can tell you personally. You know, it's not like going to Tobago free now. That's not the issue. Good. But I really want to congratulate the Augustine-led THA. And party over. Time to work. I saw some pictures with the with the licensing people busy at work today. Yes, you have to. Not because your party win, you could park on the side of the road. Not because the party win, you could drive about without insurance. And that have nothing to do with that. Not at all. Not at all. So, normally, we start off our conversations and questions about the incumbent. But today I want to start in the reverse. So I want to ask you, what do you think contributed to this result for the bowling side? Not the batting side. We'll get into the winners as we go along. But the bowling side, the red side, the side that was not victorious, they didn't triumph at all. What do you think are some of the factors that contributed to that? Good? Because we normally talk about contribution factors on the positive side, on the other side, and the win incumbent. But I want you, this is this game of cricket. Why do you think the bowling side was not successful? Good afternoon, caller. Good afternoon, caller.
Hey, good afternoon, Ronaldo.
Yes,
You
good afternoon.
blow down by the whole of Tobago, blow down the election and all. Everybody went to school in blue. Blue, 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 God love all you. But the bowling factor now is a propaganda machine and dinosaur politics they're coming with.
Okay.
And people have technology and fingertip on their hands right now. You come to talk about radar. People want to know about the real issues. We want about jobs. We're going to have better roads, better schools, opportunities for the younger generation.
You're right.
So that the PNM have to go in the corner and go to political cemetery politically.
Right.
But I hope the PNM in East-West corridor wake up and see we're going into big way. You can't consent voting a party right through, right over and over, right through, and no betterment in your community, no proper schools, no proper roads, nothing at all. And if people will come out and vote, don't look out for nothing.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, bless.
So that caller said maybe the strategy was off. The rhetoric from long time didn't work. Good afternoon, caller.
Hi, good afternoon, Mr. Relax.
Good afternoon.
Happy to hear your hope all as well.
Yes.
Do my favor, please, if you could, tell me who would be the bowling side in this case.
The bowling side is the PNM.
The PNM and
Yeah.
the batting would have been the TPP.
Yes, because they were already in government in Tobago. They were in charge of the THA.
Okay, great, cool, thanks. To answer your question, what would have been some of the factors?
Yeah.
Plain talk, I mean, I guess in Tobagonians would have said, hey, it's 5 years past or a certain amount of time has passed, and you know, what developments have we experienced? You know, how better is our standard of living? And because you know, persons have their own lives they want to live out, they have their children, and as one supporter for the TPP, I watched the broadcast on TV last night. When asked by the interviewer how you feel and whatnot, he said, you know, let us be a message to politicians that, you know, we you know, in a sense, the fancy words, the fancy presentation, that not really soothing us or, you know, confusing us anymore. We want betterment for our lives, better opportunities for ourselves and our children. So people looking at the reality, I guess, and so I will leave my contribution there. Thanks for the time. Keep
No
up the great
problem.
work, and I love to listen.
No problem, caller. Thank you very much. So the number to call is 342-081-466-5391. What, in your view, would have been responsible for the blue wash or the blue soap? What would have been responsible for the bowling side not being victorious, not being able to take a wicket? Not a wicket. What are the factors in your view, from your analysis, from your reading of the game, you know? What would have been the factors that contributed to their loss? And we want to take that in connection with their loss before, in the same sister isle. So it went 2-0 at the general election, and at the THA election it has gone 15-0. What are some of the factors in your view, members or esteemed members of the pavilion? What are the factors that contributed to such a great, emphatic loss? One caller already said it was the strategy. He thought that strategy was old. Nobody in, you know? The other caller said maybe the people in Tobago saw betterment over the last number of years, but, you know, and they decided to continue. And betterment doesn't mean that everything was well, eh? It surely doesn't mean that everything went well and Mr. Farley got everything right. There would have been some faux pas. But in the last 4 years ago, they decided to do something different. Good afternoon, caller.
Yeah, good afternoon. Our umpire, single umpire today, officiating. Okay, now this is a question, with a lot of answers. Right, let me give me 1 minute, please. Here, right? But in general cricketing terms, the bowling side didn't have the strength to take out the batsman. Right? It almost came aligned to the same India versus West Indies cricket match on that day. That same match we're talking about, where the West Indies didn't have bowlers to out the Indian batsmen. Right? And it was a weak team against a stronger team, and everybody know the result of what that will be. We also have to look at one of the emergency fieldsman, the emergency batsman, which is Mr. Watson Duke, since he will be aligned to the batting team, right? And his input into the game, that he, as a 12-man, strengthens a team, right? Because he will be, he'll be strong and be able to be active and acrobatic in the field. That is what you have a 12-man for. You don't have a poor 12-man, and then when you call upon his services, he cannot produce, right? But on top of that, I want to go too far because you say you just want to stick on this. But one of the items that we have to understand is that as I said, I never praised myself for I predicted a 15 seat.
Yes, you did. Correct, you did.
Right? Yeah, because any first year political study students could tell you that in that instance, because one of the main things, or the main aim, I believe, it was self-determination first, right? And then the logo, that logo is a very strong logo. Tobago is we, right? So that's why the lady got herself in this situation, because she decided Tobago is she, and the opposing people, there was a big fight and a scuffle, on the road during the campaign. You cannot, as I'm saying, in negative entropy, right? You cannot be in a group and then leaving your group and want to fight the same group. In this instance, the group is Tobago, and once you go against your group in Tobago, you'll be defeated. And that's one of the things we have to look into. And then even our Prime Minister visited Tobago. That helped, because remember the school children, it was a jubilant time for them on that school tour. And then you have the remnants people now. That is the people who more or less born before independence, but existing up to today in Tobago. You have that's my thing now. You have the Winston Murray effect. Now, who do not know Dr. Winston Murray? He was a professor lecturer at West Point Academy in the States. He was one of the top naval school or military schools in America. And he was the man who Mr. Robinson brought back here to fight the Tobago East election, and he won it. And in fact, it was reported that Winston Murray put up his own flag in Tobago East. Right? So he's one man in his grave will be happy today. Another one will be Ho-Choi Charles, and even Mr. Robinson himself. Yeah. So there is some of the issues we have. There is some of the issues we have to look into, and then this issue of the low voting, which I cannot understand in Trinidad at all. Now, I just want to say that adult suffrage or the right to vote was introduced in Trinidad in 1946. After what they call the Moyne Commission from 1938, there was a British government directive in right that sent this gentleman. So I think so. John Moyne was his name, right? Well, Moyne was his surname anyhow, and they call the commission the Moyne Commission because the British government were looking to deal with certain issues in the British West Indies. So they set up this commission, and this man said one of the things you have to look at is adult suffrage, and we in Trinidad got it in 1946. And people must know that was no easy, wasn't a gift. People fought for that in Trinidad. And people must learn that and go out to vote whenever election, whether it's local, whether it's Tobago House of Assembly, whether it's a general election. People must turn out. And that is why I have to say right now, and that is why, too, in closing, that we need political education and training from the primary school. I learned a lot because I read the newspapers in my day as a school child and the student companion. I learned, and retain a lot of this. That was my foundation. That is why I could have proper discourse and thing in the political environment. Okay, umpire, well, later. Bye. Thanks.
Okay, caller. And we're going to a break, so we'll hold all the calls until we come back from the break. But I understand the caller's perspective. Prezi, we'll take the call after the break. We're going to a break now. We're just a couple seconds away. The caller spoke about the Tobago is we. Tobago is we. That is powerful. I did not examine the mantra, but that whistles to a certain ethos held by Tobagonians. Tobago is we. So when you're looking for fight, bacchanal, and all kind of mayhem, you have to remember Tobago is we. Powerful, powerful, powerful. So we have some products here that we realize the TPP maybe have been using silently. So we ask them for the secret and they send the blue wash and the blue soap. When the others come, we will dig into the effectiveness of the blue wash versus the blue soap or the dock, depending on what you're cleaning. But I want you to stay tuned on the Third Empire. We'll be back after the break, and we will get into the deeper discussion, not just the results. We don't get just carried away with the results. Let's dig deep as we do on the Third Empire. Stay tuned for more.
You've got bills to pay, and so do we. Let's go pay some bills on the street 919 FM.
Nature's Touch Massage Therapy and Nutrition and Nature's Touch Youth Health Caravan invites you to join us live on the Street 919 FM every second and fourth Friday morning from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. We are located at number 3, 7th Avenue North via the Eastern Main Road, Barataria. For further information, please call or WhatsApp the numbers 398-8282 or our office numbers 241-7568 and 310-8671. Remember, at Nature's Touch, your health is our responsibility.
Building dreams, delivering excellence. That's McClatchy Construction Company Limited. Since 2008, McClatchy Construction has grown into one of Trinidad and Tobago's most trusted names in construction. From residential homes to large-scale commercial and industrial projects, we bring integrity, innovation, and professionalism to every endeavor. Our services include general contracting, design and build, construction management, restorations, renovations, structural steelworks, infrastructure development, home construction, and equipment rental. Whatever your vision, we have the expertise to bring it to life. With over 17 years of proven experience and a portfolio of landmark projects, more than 70% of our work comes from repeat clients, a true testament to our quality and reliability. For trusted construction solutions, contact McClatchy Construction Company Limited at 221-5405 or 222-5897 or via email. admin@mcclatchyconstruction.com. McClatchy Construction Company Limited, building strong foundations for a better tomorrow.
The Lion brand always had a plan, giving great taste all across the land. Pelori, fry, bake, roti, and doubles too, made with great taste just for me and you. All through the year and all season, the Lion brand is the reason. When the Lion brand in the kitchen, we know to mix and move, we're gonna mix and move.
This carnival season, mix and move with the Lion brand of products, the power behind our great taste traditions.
With the Lion brand.
of truth. A Kaiso story. The grand opening of the world's #1 Calypso tent. Kaiso Showcase 2026. Friday, 23rd January, 8 p.m. Naparima Bowl, San Fernando. Be prepared for a night of Calypso in all its forms. Social, political commentary, humor, pan, chutney, and suggestive sounds. Featuring performances by Queen Victoria, Lady Adana, Pharaoh, Mr. Shaq, Daddy Chinese, Eunice Peters, Calissa Charles Mapp, Alicia Richards, Il Drago, Mr. Mac, Nicholas Lucas, Rivaldo London, Lady Torlish, Carice Pascal, D. Juba, Roxy Singh, Queen Voice, Brother Ramkey, Cassie, Miss Ross, Empress, Medic, Greg, Mr. Lee, Fire Ring. Guest performances by Dev, Durango, Brio, and Raw Tour. Your MC, Damian Melville. Music by Razor Sharp, Chorus, Kaiso Flames. Tickets, advance $200. At the door, $250. Available at Roast and Toast, Superior Street, San Fernando. Athletes by the Park, Togo South Central Office, Mezzanine Floor, Skinner Park, San Fernando. And from executive members. For more information, call 653-5732. Don't miss Rhythms of Truth, a Kaiso story. See you there.
What are you doing? At KFC is so special to all our we. Like we need blood and living, we need KFC again and again. Start to crunch, start to crunch, start to crunch down now. Start to crunch with your crew, look they touch down now.
What are you doing?
KFC time to wave and just bite down now because it's Crunchy Vibe.
What are you doing? Do what you want with the crunch, don't fight it. KFC, Carnival, when you bite it. Flavor, kicker, like rocket. It's a Crunchy Vibe with the baddest bucket. Bada ding, bada boom. Make best, make room. The steam finger licking. It's a Crunchy Vibe with KFC. Chicken, joy, carnival, and every crunch with KFC. When the taste moves your waist, you know it's Crunchy Vibe at KFC.
Blessings in the wonderful name of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. You are invited to listen to the Final Hour broadcast heard every Monday
from 11 p.m. to 5 a.m. in the morning on the Street 919 FM.
Hear my mom, Pastor Helen Garcia, and myself, Pastor Valentine Garcia Jr., preach the Word of God to the elderly, youth, and children. We can be contacted at 629-0113 or 623-8444. The church is located at 26 Prince Street in Port of Spain. We look forward to you joining us. God bless you.
As my life I lay it on the altar, as my life.
This carnival season, come hungry and leave in love. Welcome to Flavor, a carnival culinary experience like no other. Every evening, the Queen's Park Savannah transforms into a vibrant village of food, culture, and celebration. Taste the best of Trinidad and Tobago with local street food, gourmet chefs, live cooking demos, cultural performances, and family-friendly experiences, all in one place. Join us at Flavor Village, Queen's Park Savannah, every day from 4 p.m. TNT, you're gonna love this.
Jump into savings at Furniture Plus. Enjoy up to 40% off in-store and online. Find amazing deals on furniture, appliances, mattresses, and more. Plus extra discounts on credit plans and free gifts with select purchases. Save more at Furniture Plus today.
Play away, break away, play away. 1, 2, 3, go! It's a bigger prize and the money nice in the play away, break away. We betting hard and we betting hard in the play away, break away. It's bacchanal in the play away. Win up to 30-1 on the base, 130-1 with the Juve ball, 135-1 with the steel pan ball, and 150-1 with the soccer ball. Wager on at least one mega mix option for a chance to break away with bigger playway prizes this carnival. It's a bigger prize and the money nice in the playway breakaway. We betting hard and we betting hard in the playway breakaway. Players must be 18 years and over. Please play responsibly.
Tune in to the Street 919 FM every Friday from 9:15 a.m. to 9:45 a.m. with Kingdom Health Services, situated at number 125 to 186 Eastern Main Road in Tunapuna. For the program, Health and Healing, merging the old with the new, with Mr. Brent Diet. For more information, call 318-7471 or 484-0141 or 360-4100. It's all about Kingdom Health Services on the Street 919 FM.
Get ready to immerse yourself in the vibrant rhythms and the joyous spirit of sweet calypso. Join us for an unforgettable experience at the semi-final round of the Calypso Monarch competition. This is Calypso Fiesta. 40 Calypso stars will compete on the Skinner Park stage. Calypso Unleashed, boundless harmonies. Mark your calendars. Saturday, February 7th, 2026. Join us at Skinner Park in San Fernando for an afternoon of pure Calypso magic. Showtime 2 p.m. Tickets available on islandetickets.com or call us at 623-9660. Don't miss out on a chance to experience the rhythm and joy of the Caribbean in 2026. Calypso Unleashed, boundless harmony. This is Calypso Fiesta.
The Embassy Yacht is back and ready to transform your events into unforgettable experiences. Launched from King's Wharf, San Fernando, the perfect starting point for an epic experience of luxury, music, and celebration on the open water. By booking our vessel, your event will include a house DJ, state-of-the-art sound system, fully stocked bar, dedicated cleaning crew, top-notch security. This isn't just a venue, it's a floating masterpiece designed to make your event the talk of the town. Imagine your guests dancing under the stars, drinks in hand, with breathtaking views of the coastline as your backdrop. From birthdays to corporate events to exclusive parties, the Embassy Yacht offers promoters a unique platform to create unforgettable memories and boost your brand's reputation. Call or WhatsApp 399-5959 or email embassycruises@gmail.com.
Trinidad and Tobago, get ready for words, wit, and raw lyrical fire. It's Kaisorama 2026, the ultimate extempo and freestyle competition where only the sharpest minds survive. On Monday, February 2nd, the battle begins at Radisson Hotel with the preliminary round at 7 p.m. Watch the nation's best extempo giants go head-to-head, thinking fast, rhyming faster. Then it all comes down to the grand final on Tuesday, February 10th, 7 p.m. at Napa. One crown, one champion, pure lyrical mastery. Think you have what it takes? Registration is now open until Friday, January 30th at all Tuco offices. Tickets, preliminary $150, grand final $250. Don't miss the clash of culture, creativity, and calypso brilliance. Kaisorama 2026, where lyrics rule and legends are born.
This carnival season, come hungry and leave in love. Welcome to Flavor, a carnival culinary experience like no other. Every evening, the Queen's Park Savannah transforms into a vibrant village of food, culture, and celebration. Taste the best of Trinidad and Tobago with local street food, gourmet chefs, live cooking demos, cultural performances, and family-friendly experiences, all in one place. Join us at Flavor Village, Queen's Park Savannah, every day from 4 p.m. TNT, you're gonna love this.
Share the live. Share the live. The Street 919 FM on Facebook and Instagram. Share the live. Iowa George on Instagram. Share the live. Iowa TV and Street TV on YouTube. Share the live. The Street 919 FM.
Okay, and we're going to continue from where we left off. We were asking the members of the pavilion, what do you think accounted for the loss by the bowling side? We're not getting to the batting side yet, by the bowling side. What do you think, what went wrong? Something went wrong and something has been going wrong. We ain't going too far back, we're just dealing with this particular election, this match that was last night. What do you think? Was the captain? You think was the captain on the side? Strategy? You tell me. Good afternoon, caller.
Yeah, good afternoon, Mr. Rolex. Mr. Rolex, well, I have to compliment Mr. Fally and his team for the magnificent job that they did in winning the election in Tobago. And I want to say also, last night, just my observation, I heard Dr. Hamid Ghani, or Professor Hamon Hamid Ghani, and I think it's one of the best exposition I've heard on political issues for a long time. And so I would want to thank him for that. I think it was a learning experience for me and I think for many other persons. the question of the bowling team, quite clearly they had no plan. They offered nothing at all. You couldn't offer a radar because the campaign seemed to be focused primarily, or if not totally, on radar and accusation, allegation, which the batting team, which is Farley, he spared no time, no effort in dispelling them, and that is very key, the politics again. Every accusation and allegation that they came up with in terms of propaganda, he understood. I think he had a good understanding of propaganda, what is propaganda and what is truth, and the need for you to with alacrity, dispel propaganda, untruth. And he did that effectively. The other thing I think that the poor governance of the bowling team over the years, I think it lingered on, and it remained almost fixed in the minds of the population of Tobago. They never erased that. They didn't forget that. And the government, as a matter of fact, the previous government, again, I'm not talking about the local government, I'm talking about the central government. All these things in their mind, and what the way they treat their own, how they dealt with their own, all these things, registered and remain firm in their mind. And what was very, very encouraging for me is that I saw, I've never seen it before, a bunch of young people, brilliant people. When you listen to them and they speak and how they speak, how they care about themselves, I couldn't imagine that Tobago had, I don't try to bring them down, but, very brilliant people, they're able to express themselves, articulate, and to know that the assembly is run by very young people.
Caller, we're going to a break right now.
Skibby doo bang bang. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Skibby doo bang bang. Go play, just bring it for me, girl. I like it, I want it, I need it, I want it, I need it. Go play, just bring it for me, girl. I like it, I want it, I need it, I want it. Hey, give me a way to remember. Give me a way to remember. Girl, give me a way to remember. Give me a way to remember. Girl, I want to press a button, start in place. Don't let we waste time. Open the gate. This level waistline, eating the place. Girl, when it come to your waist, she said the elevator only go in one direction. She going down, she going. And if you miss out on the first, you have to wait till the next one. Well, I don't want to wait. Go play, just bring it for me, girl. I like it, I want it, I need it, I want it, I need it. Go play, just bring it for me, girl. I like it, I want it, I need it, I want it. Hey, give me a way to remember. Give me a way to remember. Girl, give me a way to remember. Give me a way to remember. I thought she can't go no more. And then she carry me down in the basement. And she don't want me come up. And she go find a replacement. She said the elevator only go in one direction. She going down, she going. And if you miss out on the first, you have to wait till the next one. Well, I don't want to wait. Go play, just bring it for me, girl. I like it, I want it, I need it, I want it, I need it. Go play, just bring it for me, girl. I like it, I want it, I need it, I want it. Hey, give me a way to remember. Give me a way to remember. Girl, give me a way to remember. Give me a way to remember. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
volume up to the max. It's time for the Soca Pick of the Day, sponsored by NLCB. And that is your Soca Pick of the Day. Keep it locked right here for more of the biggest hits and the sweetest vibes, sponsored by NLCB.
Play away, break away, play away. 1, 2, break away. It's a bigger prize and the money nice in the play away, break away. We fetting hard and we betting hard in the play away, break away.
It's bacchanal in the play away, break away. Win up to 30 to 1 on the base, 130 to 1 with the Juve ball, 135 to 1 with the steel pan ball, and 150 to 1 with the Soca ball. Wager on at least one mega mix option for a chance to break away with bigger play away prizes this carnival.
It's a bigger prize and the money nice in the play away, break away. We fetting hard and we betting hard in the play away, break away.
Players must be 18 years and over. Please play responsibly.
All right, so Mr. West, you're on the floor. Call us back. I'm sorry, we were going to a break quite suddenly, and you got cut off. So you can call me back and continue your point about Professor Ghani. So in the meanwhile, we'll take Prezi. Good afternoon, Mr. President.
Oh yes, my brother Ronaldo. Good afternoon. And well, I recognize your voice alone for the afternoon. So wherever your brothers and sister,
Yeah.
good afternoon.
So Samoya trapped in Tobago. She ain't come back yet.
Oh, she's still trapped.
Yes.
All right, okay. And good afternoon, Trinidad and Tobago. Good afternoon, God. And God in the play this afternoon because God going and talk a truth here. Now, you asked a question about the bowling team.
Yes.
Right. What caused them to be where they are? That question, bold, brave, and it should have a proper answer. Tubigonian been fighting for internal self-government for a long time now. It ain't just this election. It did in it ended 2021 election. It's a long time now. To get 15, you get voting. You get voting one sometime ago. To get 15, no. It's the whole of Tobago talk. And it's the whole of Tobago who wanted self-government. Now, plenty of people out here tend to feel that Tobago and Trinidad is one in the sense of culture, although we wouldn't support it. Yes, we are two nations that they put together as Trinidad and Tobago, and it must stay so. But Tobagonian wants self-government. And that is what is on the table. Now, the PNM neglect that for so long that I've been hearing it to the point that they wanted to neglect it. But we had Robinson, who was a Tobagonian. And then eventually we have Dr. Rowley, who is a Tobagonian. But on the end of it, Dr. Robinson, let me give me pop so what he did and so far and so forth. What we give Rowley right now, to the end of it, he break down a certain situation that caused himself and the PNM government to lose 15 million. Well, think twice about what's going on with Tobago. Tobago wants self-governance. And that they're looking for Party come in. And when Secretary Party come in, he maintained certain circumstances as that my brother before tried to, but although he was a public servant and he caused his own problems. But Party stand up lately and he put down the shop on Tobagonian and Tobagonian take the gun and put bullets in it and let go. And that's what we get today. Look at how they want to put it. We know where Rowley is in Trinidad. In Trinidad, we go deal with the circumstances as we will say the PNM and we next vote. But Tobagonian deal with PM in this one. And we are the first the matter that it is C-section. I don't think it's total C-section they want, because I am seeing how they really would like to get C-section, because yes, they're small, but they have a big brother here. They have to live with it. They seem they know that they have to live, but they want self-government because they have their own land by themselves. And that I will hold to go to my grave with it, because I understand what it's philosophy, psychology, and sociological consciousness. When you put the consciousness of an existence within those brackets, that is the problem of Tobago. That we don't understand those places of subjects. But if we put the subjects together, and I have you down, my brother, as a psychologist, I'm not sure you understand what I say. And I will leave it there just because of your one question. And if I have to come in later, it may be on something else. But what I just say, I think God just answer and talk the truth of a reality that must be spoken. Thank you.
And the Greeks say the gods have spoken. What, in your view, members of the pavilion, and you can call me on 342-0081-4665-391, accounted for such a magnanimous defeat in that match yesterday? Continue, so go ahead.
Yeah, the point I wanted to make with these young people, I think that young people relate far better. They communicate far better than elder people or older people and young people. And I think that group of people there who that formed the PDP, they have been able to communicate, and I think they have been able to bring the young people along with them. So I think that is a factor. And again, you have a lot of young people who would have left school and whatnot, and the state of the country, and some of them don't see it, they see it very challenging, and therefore they gravitate to the PDP, in which they repose some hope for the future. So all these things would have, I think, affected the outcome of the election. And another thing I look at, again, when I think I took that from Professor Ghani, when he said that, I probably mentioned that before, the fact remained that Fari was able to go out to the people and account. We talk about transparency and openness or accountability. And he was able, as he said, he was able to itemize, put everything on a chart or whatever it is, and account to the people, tell them how the money was spent, how much money he received, and I think that would have worked in his favor. And he said that, as far as the professor said, he has never seen that in Trinidad and Tobago politics before, and I think that might have helped the situation. Another thing, again, is that I probably mentioned it some time ago, the fact that the TPP would have had a very good working relationship with the incumbent, the present central government. And I think the people would have recognized that and decided to go, because I said that they would have to work with the incumbent central government for most of the entire 4 years. And therefore they have demonstrated quite early their willingness to work with the PPP. And it's reflected in the budget, it's reflected in the way they were able to consult, they meet with the Prime Minister and him, they seem to have a good relationship. And the people, repose that confidence in the PDP. So I am saying that the PNM, as a matter of fact, offered nothing. I heard, I think the leader of the PNM, he said that he was going to create some 7,000 jobs. Well, I don't think that the people, I think they underestimate the intelligence of the people. I think they believe that they're dealing with people in the 1960s, 70s, 80s, and that kind of thing. And they didn't buy that. They're not going to buy that, because what are you going to create the jobs? You need investment. You're not telling, all you're telling me you're creating 7,000 jobs. How you're going to take the money, the money allocated to the House of Assembly and just create makeshift work jobs? No, they're not buying into that. It's either you tell them you're going to bring investment, and I think Farley, would have mentioned that where some hotels and whatever it is, and some investment coming in and whatnot. So you're not going to buy them with that. This kind of dude and URP kind of, then they don't go in there. They don't want that. They want what Tobago wants, I think, is permanent jobs. They want a future. And that 7,000 jobs we're talking about, you're not saying how you're going to create the jobs, where you're going to get the investment from. You're wasting time. So I think the PNM offered nothing for the people in that election in terms of a plan or whatever, a plan of action or a plan as a matter of fact, and they lost the election.
Well, stay on the line, caller. Stay on the line. I agree with what you were saying, especially in terms of the involvement of the young people. And I think that especially in Tobago, counteracts the whole issue of race. You are not able to play that card with the amount of young people involved, because those young people going between Trinidad and Tobago, they're partying, they're liming, the interaction. You will not be able to fearmonger a high number of young people who are involved in politics. You can't give them, you can't sell them those old war stories. You can't program them. So I like that point you raised there with the young people. The other thing with that is that it says that they come with less political baggage. So they are able to turn a page. Farley himself represents that. Good, because you can't tie him to much politically. Before that, he was a teacher. You can't tie him to much, and that establishes something that is very, very important moving forward, which is trust. And you spoke about that. The trust that exists now between central government and the THA is a relationship that before has been very turbulent. There's been a calculated approach not to just appease, but to allow Tobago to determine her own issues and allow the THA, head of the THA, the chief secretary, to function as he sees fit. And that may not be autonomy on paper, because he has his own rules defined in law. However, it sends positive signals for those coming after. So if you have to choose joining a party as your own person with a pecking order, where you have all these generals and lieutenants, and you really ain't it will take longer to reach up the ladder. And you see the Blue Wash Party, where you seeing young people like yourself holding positions, going up for campaigns, and taking an active part. That swell could be very, very, very appealing.
Yes, I think your analysis is quite good and sound. And, I agree with you, because and it's manifested in the outcome of the election, and again, I think that what has happened over time is that I think Farley would have matured, quite much. And again, they have trust in him as a young person. And as I said, I don't want to repeat much of what you said, but the fact remains is that he gave them some hope, because they could identify with him. And I think coming out of, I think it came from the countryside or whatever it is in Tobago, what you call countryside.
Yes, space side.
Right. And I think, he's a sort of model for them. When I listened to him speak last night, I was very impressed, because a young man, now into the politics. When I say young in the politics, he's not 10, 15 years into the politics, in the real politics. And it was very, very, very positive. I think he's very encouraging, and I was very much impressed with his performance.
And let me share something with you that I maybe have not shared on air. I used to teach in Tobago at Signal Hill. And when I went to teach in my first year, I had to teach a extra class, a private class, because there was no Spanish teacher down at SEC. And he was one of the students in sixth form at the time who was in the class. And I remember clearly him, when we finished lessons, maybe about 5 o'clock, having to travel to Speyside. But he didn't miss class. I don't know what time he'd reach home, because you understand the transportation issues there. Good? But being very dedicated and even argumentative. I tell him that all the time. He would argue a point. He will say, "Sir, I hear what you say, but me not believe that." In their own twang. Good. Very, 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 not disrespectful, but very, very determined. And you see some of it on the campaign trail. You see some of it in his character now. He is very, very determined in his mind, you know, to achieve what he wants to achieve. And that has a particular appeal with the younger people who are looking for opportunity, who are looking on and say, well, if, because he went on to be a school teacher himself, if a teacher could become chief sec. Incidentally, Dr. London was, no, Mr. London was also a principal. But if a teacher as young as Mr. Augustine was could follow a path and craft his own path, then there must be something, there must be opportunity. And that is catchy.
I think there's hope for young people.
Yes.
And I think in Tobago, and if not Trinidad, because you see, what some people fail to realize is that you have role models, and you could look at somebody and tend to, this is how you grow. And you pattern what they do, you watch them and you see how they deliver, you realize how they operate, how they move, how they, you know. And I think he's a good role model, not just for young people in Tobago, but those in Trinidad who want to develop, who want to grow. You can follow some of he has some very good good qualities that people could follow if you really want to develop and you want to be able to probably engage in politics or in public life as a whole, not necessarily being in the political sphere, but generally in terms of your overall personal development, you can model that.
Yes.
So I see a future. I see a very bright future for him, but he has to be very careful.
Indeed.
And he has to walk that tightrope because there are people who got to be going behind him.
Yes.
To be hungering him down, and you have to be very, 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 very careful.
Yes.
All right, thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
So the number to call is 342-008-146-65391. What, in your view, would have accounted for that disastrous performance of the bowling side? You know, it might be several factors. We could only speculate. We don't know. We were not a part of the machinery. They will have to do their own introspection. Mr. Dennis has said he will step down. Nobody had to tell him to do that. He will give way for succession. Or has there been succession planning? Would there be somebody installed? Or would the real process take place? The genuine, authentic process of electing another leader. Is it automatically Mr. Morris? I'm not too sure. The members of that party and that group, the Tobago faction of the PNM, will have to determine those things. I heard he said there's elections in May, internal elections. Mr. Dennis said that in an interview, I believe. So that time will come where they will pick their successor, but they will definitely have to regroup. They will definitely have to do some adjustment. But it starts with the post-mortem. Why are we here? How did we reach here? There's the mighty Red Party, over 2 decades of experience, a machinery that you cannot underestimate. But you have been toppled by people you might call neophytes. No one expected this. Well, some people did predict this, and it has been consistent despite other issues about voter turnout, about allegations. You get all those things in politics. All of those things are part and parcel of politics. And it's not a priest contest. So we're not looking for who is innocent and who is more innocent than who. It's not church elections. Good? This is politics you're talking about here. So there will be a type of scrutiny about decision making, about spending, about vision, about different issues that one would have to answer. But we will get into some of those issues. We're coming up to a break now. So we will get into some of those issues. We're going to ask a deeper question. After the break, we're going to dive a little deeper into the THA elections 2026. Okay? And When you could take a look at the blue wash or the blue soap. I don't know. Nobody calls so far and says the blue soap fault or the blue wash fault. I mean, at least you're not blaming the props on the set. But we will dive deeper into this issue of the elections, and we will not totally be amused with the fanfare and the revelry, because we celebrate funerals just in the same manner. Big truck, loud music. Sometimes you can't tell if it's joy or sorrow. So that's this, guys. We will get into the deeper issues that have more significance for the living public, for the future of Tobago, for the young people, good, who have said they are on board with Tobago is we. The young people who have said they are on board with Tobago is we. I saw young brother there, and I saw, and his name is young brother, so hey, he fits in. And I saw some elders. I saw a nice mixture of old and new, and it is nice that Tobago could on her own decide that she wants an alternative to govern Tobago, and has given Mr. Farley Augustine another chance to fulfill his vision. They've given him another chance to continue his vision for Tobago and to continue the tide of change that he wants to implement. So again, we have to say congratulations to him, and we hope, as the caller just said, he doesn't become complacent. He doesn't become like a runaway horse and forget the people and forget the members and forget all those who campaigned and was good and well supported. But it's hard to please everyone. We do know it's hard to please everyone. But we pray that with guidance, he will do what is right by the Tobago people, and he will lead with dignity and respect. So join us after the break for more Third Empire.
Road March energy? Check. Royal Castle flavor? Double check. Let's dive into the Royal Castle Road March song of the day on the Street 919 FM.
When the carnival pace pick up, Royal Castle is the most tasty and convenient stop.
Welcome to Royal Castle's drive-thru.
Whether we head into the beach with chicken buckets and sides, having a house line with all the combos and sandwiches, or we stop by the castle to eat before the fete. Royal Castle local flavor is always part of the carnival.
Bacchanal time when me reach out there. When I touch on the road, don't tell me nothing. Girl, go down, drop it there. Bad from your band, they can't tell you nothing. Cause it's back another time when we reach out there. When I touch any road, don't tell me nothing. Girl, go down, drop it there. Pat from your band, they can't tell you nothing. Ooh, darling, I'm feeling to wine and break with you, yeah. Cause I'm in a party mood. Hey, I keep wine on a bumper too, darling. I'm feeling to wine and break with you, yeah. Cause I'm in a party mood. Come let me take a jam till I'm morning. Out on the road, just look how we drinks and girl can't done. Come let me play a mass till I'm morning. I'll be my feelings watching the girl then carry on. Oh, I come out to them now. It's plenty girl and it's with them now. See look at trouble we giving. Put trouble we giving. And tears love just watch how we living now. Christmas.
That was the Royal Castle Road March Song of the Day on the Street 919 FM.
When the carnival pace pick up, Royal Castle is the most tasty and convenient stop.
Welcome to Royal Castle's drive-thru.
Whether we heading to the beach with chicken buckets and sides, having a house line with all the combos and sandwiches, or we stop by the castle to eat before the fete. Royal Castle local flavor is always part of the carnival.
I'm going on your radio.
And we're back. And before I segue into my next issue, dealing with the same election, I want to give way to Senior Matheson, who has now come back from Tobago. Senior Matheson is back, and he can give us his own take on the afternoon. Mr. Senior Matheson, I don't know if he has used any of these products here, Blue Wash, Blue Soap.
Yeah, I use Blue Wash. I buy Blue Wash at Price Mart most of the time.
It seems to be working in Tobago.
Yeah, it's working in Tobago.
Yeah, and Blue Soap. We have Blue Soap here. You know,
it's a blue wave.
Old school.
It's a blue wave. And
yeah, it's old school.
And you know the blue wave coming.
Yeah.
You ship the blue wave coming to deal with Tobago issues.
It's old school. So tell me, Mr. Matheson, the results are out.
Yeah. Good evening to all your clients. Sorry, all your listeners.
Yes.
Still in that mood.
Yes.
And you know, I've been listening to you. I just was listening to you for the last 10 minutes or so, and good program, good analysis too with what would have happened in Tobago. It isn't different from what we would have spoken about yesterday. I mean, I had it about the PNM winning 2 seats. Well, they won none actually. They ended up in a little worse off position than there was in the last time around. But it's nothing to really rejoice about, really, I would say.
Yes.
Because when you look at the voter turnout, it's just about probably about 10% of what 20% or so of what the voting population in Tobago represented. And that sends another message that says to me that there's another challenge, and that challenge is that the people are by and large disenchanted with governance in Tobago, and they didn't see this as any serious election, one, and two, that they felt because in some areas it was close, right? The votes were close. So clearly Tobago also has to take stock of themselves. Although Fali will have won, he has to up his ante in some significant ways. In other terms, the PNM, I think, as I would have said yesterday, even though the voter turnout was small.
Yeah, it was 50%.
50%. Even though it was small, one has to consider the fact that But everything that the people of Trinidad and Tobago is experiencing, or what they claim to be experiencing with the UNC, people still comfortable, not so much comfortable, but people is still, if they had to choose, they will choose one side over another.
Yes.
And that is also something for the PNM to take into consideration at this time around. You see, at the end of the day, and I heard you said something earlier on, at the end of the day, what these old derelict parties are not realizing is that times are changing, people's interests are changing, and people are getting a little more politically intelligent.
Yes.
So you can't come back, you can't come with the same old rhetoric, the same long time 1970s politics, right? And say vote for me. It really doesn't work.
Yes.
People want to see a different kind of politician who, for which it seems as though Fali and Kamala is appealing to.
Yeah.
And that, in a good way. I mean, sometimes desperate times would require desperate measures, and
yes.
you know, sometimes some of the things we see, we could consider it to be desperate measures. We don't know how long it will be for, but you know, from where I sit, I can tell you things are really, really hard. Right? We really do have money to do a lot of things that we used to have. We used to have money to do, and the country still had to manage. So, desperate measures will be something that we had to get accustomed to. The thing is, who appears to be more responsible to the people will be the group that the people will vote for going forward.
And you're right. I want to endorse what you said there about the maturity of the voting public now. Mm-hmm. Because if they were immature, they might have segued and be affected by issues of the fines, issues of the radar, the whole issues with Venezuela, the ambulance issues. They heard them, they listened to them, and they determined that these are not issues for them. Which is mature. Good. Normally, it would have been easy for the bowling side to just throw a wrench in the whole thing and sway the voters. Even after a clarion call from the leader of opposition about come home.
Come home,
when you ask the little puppy to come home and the puppy run from you and say no.
I mean, you should be asking yourself another question.
There's a problem. You're ill-treating the puppy.
Yeah.
Because normally...
So what you end up getting is a blue wash.
Yeah.
Blue wash I see.
Yeah. You're ill-treating the puppy because normally you offer the puppy all kind of thing to eat, all kind of thing, call the puppy, come home, and the puppy turn around and go on the next way.
Shake it tail and go on somewhere else.
Something is wrong.
Yeah, something wrong.
And the Tobago people have signaled that something is wrong.
Well, Tobago to me always, from long time, always represented to me a more mature voting public.
Yes.
Because to me, they always, some would say that Tobago is a kind of clannish kind of society, but not as much as Trinidad with both sex in Trinidad. The thing is, Tobago more look at issues because Tobago had both experience with both sides of the pendulum since in the history of THA and that kind of thing. And they've always voted the way that they feel that for the group that they feel represent them the best. Right? Because at the end of the day, this is as much as a win for the UNC as it is for the PDP in Tobago, you know that.
And coming out of the heels of the general election too.
Exactly.
So if you felt the general election was a fluke, where they took the 2 seats.
But then you understand now what it is.
They're very serious.
Yeah.
You have to understand that you're facing the barrel of a gun. And the bowling side has to do like Transformers and transform.
Yeah.
You know, the people said...
But it seemed not to, because remember, I would have said something repeatedly on this program, that it is as if, when you listen to the rhetoric of the bowling side, the PNM, it is as if they don't even understand why they lost the elections. Why they lose the election in April. It is as if they don't understand why. Because they hear them with the same rhetoric, and they don't understand that just annoying people.
Yeah.
right?
You can't race bait people.
You can't not just race, but all them kind of choppiness, but the same thing you doing, you saying them doing and all that kind of thing because you feel. But listen, these people now come.
Yeah.
Right?
Normally, the strategy was to align the THA leadership with the UNC and then race bait.
Exactly.
The electorate.
Yeah.
But they didn't do much of that, but it didn't work anyway.
Exactly.
Because before, being aligned with the UNC was a bad thing. And they would tell you about, we had all the whole Calcutta ship and all that talk.
Yeah.
But with $3 billion on the budget allocation, we will see what happens.
Allocation doesn't necessarily mean that
we
that'll be
know
available.
That. But it's still the biggest allocation.
Yeah.
At least you're willing in principle.
And they might get it in some way in being able to borrow or something. They might get
Good.
it.
And apart from that, allowing the chief sec to do what he has to do.
Exactly. And he said it, the chief sec said it.
Yes.
Right? When he spoke about the Tobago Ferry, he spoke about a number of things.
Yes.
And he said that they give Tobago that although they doesn't have it in principle, they give they don't have it in legislation, they give them it in principle. I mean, we don't have to come up to Tobago to do certain things that the Tobago House of Assembly chairman and the chief sec and that kind of thing can
and
do.
The Prime Minister has said that in her speech all the time, that she will allow him to do what he has to do.
Exactly.
And not to be too meddlesome. Good. So that whole conversations with whoever.
You want Tobago, how we see it fit.
And that whole call to come back home could not defeat Tobago is we. Good. So there is power in this blue wash and this blue soap. We do it looking
and in the
simple.
And in the next few days again, the blue wave.
Wow.
the vessel that has about 80, I think it's about 87 more cabins.
Wow.
So that you're going up with your cargo.
Yes.
You could have a cabin to stay over in the vessel for the night.
Yeah. You're bringing it back to the days of the panorama.
Yeah. But this is a more modern, ultra modern ship. It's an older ship, but it's really well kept. It's a ultra modern vessel with with bars and everything on it.
Right. So, and we know how important sea bridge transport is for Tobago. Very, very important. So, all in all, we're seeing a turn in Tobago politics, and something that...
And a turn in the relationship between Trinidad and Tobago.
Yes.
Because even when central government was run by the same group, in Tobago, there was a kind of lack of respect, even for the Tobago section.
Yeah. They were not autonomous.
No, it wasn't.
And they were always paying patronage. And we know the Prime Minister, and we know Dr. Des.
That is not what happened. But I mean, I sat with Fali a couple of times, and I find Fali to be a very progressive kind of... He understands what Tobago needs, he understands what he wants, he knows where he speaks as though he is in charge. And this is what he wants, and this is what he's going to do.
And I find he speaks as much older than he is.
Yeah.
Because understanding some of those issues.
I didn't even know he was still in the studies.
But autonomy is a very old issue. So to dissect that issue and make it palatable, break it down, you really have to have an appreciation, one, for your elders. And I realize he has the trust of a lot of the elders looking in the communities. Even if the results were different, he would still have a seat. Because when it comes to countryside and those people there, they believe in him. And those elderly people don't believe in you just so.
Yeah. It would have been good for the PNM to align themselves with Fali, as opposed to trying to fight him in the way they fought. Because I mean, Fali, he didn't have no sort of dirt on him.
No, he had no baggage, and that's what we explain as a young person.
Yeah, he had no baggage, he had no sort of dirt on him to come with him that kind of thing. So what he was coming with, but you hear the things PNM promising, the same old rhetoric, jobs and this amount that you getting that. Come no man.
We're getting how much 1,000 jobs from Mr. Dennis. We're getting it from. Trinidad looking for some of them jobs.
CPAP
People
and
here
ERP.
losing their job, but you have 5,000 in Tobago. Hey, you
Well,
good?
well, get the people it still.
We'll give them it.
Get them it still.
You know, things hard here like banga seed, according to you.
Like a banga seed.
Yeah. But you giving milk and honey, and you're not even in governance.
And that's one of the challenges.
Yeah.
With the PNM. I mean, that was a party I used to be affiliated with. Seriously.
But they have, I mean, their business is internal. But I know we're coming up to a break, so we could just end off with that.
And when we come back, well, if you're not going into
Yes.
something else, I want to continue this discussion because I want to talk about politics in general and the nature of politics and how people see.
Well, that's where we're going because we realize the lady who was injured in the fight, as you mentioned, said, watch, I am going to press charges. You know, she admitted that she pulled out a knife. That's what she said.
To defend herself.
To defend herself. Good?
I suspected that.
Yes. So, we really have to get into this story because there are some bad things that we culturally associate with politics that are unprogressive.
Yeah, and it's not as bad as say like Jamaica in the Bustamante area and the Manly, and Manly, but it's bad. I mean, things getting bad. I mean, things you're starting to feel like if you're supporting one side, you can't be seen in another area where the other side
and
is
Tobago is
supporting
family.
you. Yeah.
So this is not a big place.
Everybody know everybody in Tobago.
So a family might be split with PNM on one side are cousins and the next side with the TPP. But should that result in violence and malign and you know should that be as divisive as it is? And there are some things that we have to take blame for in setting certain standards for conduct. You know, we still can't get a proper debate. Not even at a national level.
Not even at a national level.
Good. So there are things that we have to discuss, and we will get into them after the break. We will get into the deeper issues, not just the results. So stay tuned after the break and keep with us on the Third Empire as we go deep into the issues of the THA election 2026.
You've got bills to pay, and so do we. Let's go pay some bills on the street 919 FM.
Rhythms of Truth, a Kaiso story. The grand opening of the world's #1 Calypso tent, Kaiso Showcase 2026. Friday, 23rd January, 8 p.m., Naparima Bowl, San Fernando. Be prepared for a night of Calypso in all its forms. Social, political commentary, humor, pan, chutney, and suggestive sounds. Featuring performances by Queen Victoria, Lady Adana, Pharaoh, Mr. Shaq, Daddy Chinese, Eunice Peters, Calissa Charles Mapp, Alicia Richards, Hail Drago, Mr. Mac, Nicholas Lucas, Rivaldo London, Lady Tornish, Carice Pascal, D. Juba, Roxy Singh, Queen Voice, Brother Ramkey, Cassie, Miss Ross, Empress, Medic, Greg, Mr. Lee, Fire Rain. Guest performances by Dev, Durango, Brio, and Raw Tour. Your MC, Damian Melville. Music by Razor Sharp, Chorus, Kaiso Flames. Tickets, advance $200. At the door, $250. Available at Roast and Toast, Superior Street, San Fernando. Athletes by the Park, Togo South Central Office, Mezzanine Floor, Skinner Park, San Fernando. And from executive members. For more information, call 653-5732. Don't miss Rhythms of Truth, a Kaiso story. See you there.
When the carnival pace pick up, Royal Castle is the most tasty and convenient stop.
Welcome to Royal Castle's drive-thru.
Whether we heading to the beach with chicken buckets and sides, having a house line with all the combos and sandwiches, or we stop by the castle to eat before the fete. Royal Castle local flavor is always part of the carnival.
$150 to 1 with the soccer ball. Wager on at least one mega mix of 18 years and over. Please play responsibly.
What are you doing? Carnival at KFC is so special to all our we. Like we need blood in we vein. We need KFC again and again. Time to crunch, time to crunch, time to crunch down now. Start to crunch with your crew, look at touchdown now.
Hurry, hurry.
KFC, time to wave and just bite down now because it's Carnival.
What are you doing? Do what you want with the crunch, don't fight it. KFC, Carnival, when you bite it. Flavor, taker, like rocket. It's a Carnival with the baddest bucket. Bada ding, bada boom. Make best, make room. The steam finger licking. It's a Carnival with KFC. Chicken, joy, Carnival, and every crunch with KFC. When the taste moves your waist, you know it's Carnival at KFC.
This carnival season, come hungry and leave in love. Welcome to Flavor, a carnival culinary experience like no other. Every evening, the Queen's Park Savannah transforms into a vibrant village of food, culture, and celebration. Taste the best of Trinidad and Tobago with local street food, gourmet chefs, live cooking demos, cultural performances, and family-friendly experiences, all in one place. Join us at Flavor Village, Queen's Park Savannah, every day from 4 p.m. TNT, you're gonna love this.
The Lion brand always had a plan, giving great taste all across the land. Pelori fry, baked roti and double stew, made with great taste just for me and you. All through the year and all season, the Lion brand is the reason. When the Lion brand in the kitchen, we know to mix and move, we're gonna mix and move.
This carnival season, mix and move with the Lion brand of products, the power behind our great taste traditions.
With the Lion brand.
Get ready to immerse yourself in the vibrant rhythms and enjoy a spirit of sweet calypso. Join us for an unforgettable experience at the semi-final round of the Calypso Monarch competition. This is Calypso Fiesta. 40 Calypso stars will compete on the Skinner Park stage. Calypso Unleashed, boundless harmonies. Mark your calendars. Saturday, February 7th, 2026. Join us at Skinner Park in San Fernando for an afternoon of pure Calypso magic. Showtime 2 p.m. Tickets available on islandetickets.com or call us at 623-9660. Don't miss out on a chance to experience the rhythm and joy of the Caribbean in 2026. Calypso Unleashed, boundless harmony. This is Calypso Fiesta.
Trinidad and Tobago, get ready for words, wit, and raw lyrical fire. It's Kaisorama 2026, the ultimate extempo and freestyle competition where only the sharpest minds survive. On Monday, February 2nd, the battle begins at Radisson Hotel with the preliminary round at 7 p.m. Watch the nation's best extempo giants go head-to-head, thinking fast, rhyming faster. Then it all comes down to the grand final on Tuesday, February 10th, 7 p.m. at Napa. One crown, one champion, pure lyrical mastery. Think you have what it takes? Registration is now open until Friday, January 30th at all Tuco offices. Tickets, preliminary $150, grand final $250. Don't miss the clash of culture, creativity, and calypso brilliance. Kaisorama 2026, where lyrics rule and legends are born.
This carnival season, come hungry and leave in love. Welcome to Flavor, a carnival culinary experience like no other. Every evening, the Queen's Park Savannah transforms into a vibrant village of food, culture, and celebration. Taste the best of Trinidad and Tobago with local street food, gourmet chefs, live cooking demos, cultural performances, and family-friendly experiences, all in one place. Join us at Flavor Village, Queen's Park Savannah, every day from 4 p.m. TNT, you're gonna love this.
Postman again. Hey. Ticket book already, hotel book already, rental reserve already, pocket full of money. Up your inside the army, are ready to party. Hey, this is Carnival rising. Carnival time is so special to me. Plenty fetting, good vibes and high energy. I love the sexy freedom, the women display. It's the vacation experience with fetting every day. Ocean view, balancing with my crew. a superstar with no work to do. No problem, I study it. No negativity. Jumping with me. This one for Miami. Me and my soca army. This one for the hot gal then who independent and love the carnival vibes. Yeah. I don't want no bad vibes. All I want is good vibes. It's plenty drinking when I line it. Please don't bother me when you see me whining, and if you see me drifting, just leave me alone. I just come to party, wind up on somebody, jump up in the Juve, play my slippery pussy, get over behind a truck and chip until I can walk. This is how I do it, carnival vibes, yeah. This one for Miami, me and my soca army. This one for the hot gal them who independent and love the carnival vibes, yeah. This is how I get on, this is how I have fun, this is how I wind down in carnival hot sun. I don't care who watching, I don't care who talking, I just spend my money, so I go party hearty. Leave me, let me get on, leave me, let me have fun, leave me, let me party. I just spend my money. Leave me, leave me, leave me, leave me, leave me, leave me. This is carnival bacchanal. This one for Miami, me and my soca army. This one for the hot gal them who independent and love the carnival vibes, yeah.
Share the live. Share the live. The Street 919 FM on Facebook and Instagram. Share the live. Iowa George on Instagram. Share the live. Iowa TV and Street TV on YouTube. Share the live. The Street 919 FM.
The Gap Man Limited specializes in products that cater to all your health needs. The Male Enhancement Package targets the areas of the body that contribute to erectile dysfunction. The Male Enhancement costs $1,400. The Gap pills are priced at 250 pills for $500 and 500 pills for just $900. For the best in eye care, get the super combination of a Super Bright and the Body Healer. To improve the heart's function and circulation, get the Gap pills and Formula C. To get a total body cleanse daily, use the Gap Body Healer and Big C, all for a super low price of $1,300. To order your products from the Gap Man Limited, call 628-4531 for products that cater to all your health needs.
For more info, contact 476-7268.
So we're back. We're back in the final hour of the show. And Senior Matheson, you were talking about certain things you want to talk about in terms of politics and our politics in Trinidad and Tobago.
Yeah, I feel that, you know, coming out of this election and coming out even of the last elections, you know, for a lot of people, the voting public, especially the weaker minds, and I say the weaker minds, which is like everybody, who doesn't go behind the scene and understand the politics. Who don't sit down and watch the parliament, who don't understand what is the role of an MP, who don't understand what is the difference between an MP and a minister, who sometimes, you know, which may include some of those MPs and ministers and things too. There's sometimes a kind of illusionary understanding of which is why sometimes you get confused with promises. It's a kind of illusionary understanding of, or expectation I should say, of what happens when a governor, when a party wins an election, right? For the most part, a government is run with just like a company, income and expenditure, right? We don't print money in the way the US prints money and backs it by oil or other kind of reserves and have people buying into a dollar and that kind of, we don't have that kind of opportunity. So the problem here is that money is not infinite, resources are not infinite, and therefore when a government gets into office, it has to now calculate what is available, and with all the promises that they make to the people, they have to now try to allocate in whatever way, cut and contrive, to see how best they could fulfill those promises for the people. So sometimes, like in the case of the 10% and the PSA, that amount of money would have come up to some billions of dollars. And that's just one promise. That was just one promise. So it would mean that either you get it in parts, if we had to keep it, or you get it in some other way, except besides cash. You get part cash, you get some in kind, in some other way. And with everything else, the government have to find money or the resources to be able to do some of the things that they themselves criticize when they were in opposition. And sometimes we just have to understand that. And that would mean that to a large extent would bring about the understand. If you understand that, you'll understand why it is some things ain't happened as yet, why it taking so long, why it seems as though you feel like you get gaslight, you feel like you get promise and it ain't happening. But it's not that it ain't happening, it's they have to find ways to make it happen. And some of the ways you mightn't like it. Right? So I would have heard Imbert talk about the increased fines and increased traffic offences and things, and he talked about what the dilemma they were faced with when they were in office and what the IMF would have told them and the suggestions they would have gotten to do certain things, and he said that they followed it. And but this is the same Imbert that said just before the election that the country had no money, and the dollar will either devalue or we'll have to go back to the IMF. He said that, and he knew why he was saying that. So the UNC would have promised that they're not doing that. So if you're not doing that, you know you had to do something else to get that money, and that's probably what they're doing. So we have to understand that although it's not magic, right? Politicians might try to keep their promises, right? Because they might feel it's a moral thing to do. But if all everything is not lining up for them to be able to earn that kind of revenue, to be able to do that, and then we have to think about the other international or geopolitical, stumbling blocks that are created sometimes by your own doing. You have to understand, because by the way, I don't know how many people understand, with that large amount of reserve, if America in any way is able to monetize that in Venezuela, the price of oil will go down drastically, right? And when that happens, oil producing nations will suffer. They're not going to make the kind of money. So if we projecting on our budget, we projecting the oil price, which we may still see that because there are other things happening in the world that will allow for the oil prices and things to remain kind of high, right? And that is what is happening with the BRICS bloc and all the other things that are happening. If we understand all those things, we'd understand in a significant way how government earn revenue and how and why they aren't able to do the things as quick as you expect them to do it. So all the people who jumping up, because election is a very expensive thing, by the way. And if you look at Tobago, all the euphoria that was taking place, you think that people doing that because on both sides, they're doing that because of promises, they're doing that because of love for party, but they're doing that because the moment is right and the party doling out things for them and that kind of thing. But behind all of that, there's a expectation. And that expectation, which is why we just have this cycle, this 5-year cycle in the country, behind that expectation could have some challenges going forward.
Well, I'm glad you touched the issue of expectation, because this gentleman here, Mr. Ash, Crystal Ash, President of the Trinidad and Tobago Unified Teachers Association, has taken issue with the unfulfilled expectation of the teacher salary increase from January. He said teachers will not receive increased wages as promised at month end. That's what the minister said, actually. I have made it very clear to the media as to when these salaries, etc., would take effect. He said that he wasn't able to discuss the matter further because he was in the middle of the meeting. That's the minister, right? Meanwhile, speaking on TV6 Morning Edition program yesterday, the tutor president, Mr. Ash, said at the end of the year last year, and this was published as well, tutor met with the CPO, Dr. Darrell Dindial, who communicated that he received instructions to pay teachers increased wages from January 2026. I'm talking about the new salary that would have been negotiated in April 2025, the Good Friday Agreement, the Good Friday Kiss. Good? That didn't really manifest in the way they thought it would have happened. I said that with 10 days to go before teachers are paid for the month of January, tutors' information is that nothing has started to disburse in the increased salaries. As government, you gave us a promise. We took you at your word. We know that you are good individuals who would hold good office, and we expect that you would live up to your obligations, Ash said. Your obligation is simple. You said that you will not be able to give us back pay, no problem. You said that you would be able to give us his salaries at the end of January. Ash said the association's membership was not pleased but expressed understanding because of the expectation of the increased salary wages in January. The person to give that information would be the Minister of Finance. We have written the Minister of Finance. We have clearly articulated the situation and that we hope what would be the outcome and his responsibilities, reminded him, Twitter said. He said he believed that the CPO has everything in place to give the instruction to the Ministry of Education, but he must first get the green light from. So, promises.
Yeah.
But we know this. For me, this is a trolley going downhill. Because it started with a poor collective agreement. If your collective agreement was what it should have been.
What on what side? On the tutor side?
On the tutor side. That is why you had no dates for any implementation and any regime.
But it was a kind of hodgepodge thing. I mean, elections
It was a
coming
good,
and,
it was a Good Friday kiss.
Yeah.
But sometimes the kiss don't really work out. When you kiss in the dark, it don't really work out.
Me know about that.
When the light come on.
Yeah,
when you
sees,
come on, you kiss in our party already.
It sees two left foot.
You kiss in our party already.
And the light come on. Yeah, realize there's two. Wait now. Die why kiss?
The kiss already work out. You thought it would work out. You know, the light come on, the light come on. The party over and the light come on. When you see what you do. They had some beverages.
You want to melt, you want to disappear.
You walk into your car quick.
But we
promises.
Yeah.
It's promises. Yeah. And as you said, there might be reason economically and otherwise for some of those promises to be not to be fulfilled. But I still beg Senior Matheson that the government have proper dialogue with the affected people. I mustn't ask you. You promised me.
Yeah.
You promised me Friday. And Friday, you know, it's tough. Call me and tell me it's not Friday.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, tell me it's not Friday. No, I can't vex with you. You can't say you lie. I can't say you didn't communicate.
We was hearing a lot of this with the PSA matter, and the PSA ended up getting the money when the thing.
Well, the PSA was strategic. Huh?
Maybe the Prime Minister hearing all of this and something will happen. But, you know, I think that people I mean, big people. If you see the people who have a job still, boy, I think they should be rejoicing, you know.
Yeah.
Right? Because things not the way what you're seeing, you know, there are people who are working, right? So I can't say what the union should do or what the government should do. I just saying as a citizen, you know, looking on and understanding the real crisis, economic crisis that we are in, I'm saying that if I have a bird in the hand is worth a lot more in the tree. If I have a salary, I wouldn't be. I mean, I will fight for my money still, but I will be more understanding if I ain't get when they say I'll get and I get a later time.
But I think that must be communicated nonetheless.
Yeah,
you must not.
Yeah, I agree with
you must have a dialogue with you, whether they like the conversation or not. You must say to them. They mustn't be coming at you, pulling at your dress tail, pulling at your dress tail. Mommy, when we get the money, it's big people they deal with.
I agree with you.
And you want them to be patient.
Mm-hmm.
And really and truly true people will understand. But you see in the absence of information, boy, in the absence of information, a lot of things, people just make a lot of assumptions. And according to what you just said, some of those assumptions just be wrong. A lot of them just be wrong. But you have no information. So you're guessing. So, and to me that has been a negative trend. And if I have to make a negative comment with this batting side, they have not been able to effectively communicate the difficult realities. It's there. If you see, you see. If you have an eye, if you have an eye.
It's like they're trying to fight it out without communicating.
Correct.
Yeah.
Because like you don't want to get the cost.
Well, you get cost because you see. You have to remember what you say.
Exactly, but that's my point.
so how you coming back to tell you now? So you didn't know that before? Like what people say, so you didn't know that before?
And that too is part of the politics. The politics is promises and reality.
Because at the end of the day, the ignorant man, he all he remember is that you promised me this.
Yeah.
I say we're gonna do this. Right?
I did not make it up.
So, but it's still not worse than. Some of the things that would have happened with the bowling side when they say they promise you things that they know they was going to, they knew that when they say we will not close down Petrotrin, we will not close down Petrotrin, right?
And the
next week,
wow,
you know,
God,
that's a different kind of promise. That's a different thing. That is deception in my view because I mean you knew that that's what you're gonna do. You couldn't make that decision overnight. But I mean, if you're not in government and you don't have the full picture of what's going on, I ain't public listeners. I ain't trying to in any way.
You better not, because I'm going to the pavilion just now.
Yeah, I'm not trying in any way to
appease,
defend or you know. I'm just saying from a logical standpoint, what I see in when you in opposition, you doesn't know every detail. You know, you might have some ideas. But you ain't know all what going on.
You can bump your gun.
Right? You ain't know all the contracts that was given out that wasn't paid and all these the bubble that took place.
When you're reaching,
it's when you're reaching there to see certain things.
The day before election.
Things signed the day before election.
People
you
contract
see, man get 10 million thing and they pay it and you have to pay that now and all that kind of thing. You just only see that when you're reaching.
I agree.
Right? And there's a lot of that the party seeing.
That is not campaign trade talk anymore.
Yeah.
That's reality.
So you have what you promised to deal with and you have what you didn't know about to deal with too.
Correct.
As you're getting.
Correct.
Right? And that's a different thing.
Correct. And that's a bocus to navigate. I understand that is rough water to navigate, but you owe a responsibility to the public, to the people whom you led on this journey. Like anybody in leadership, there'll be difficult decisions to make. Listen to me, I did promise you all a bonus, but that was predicated on profits. We did not make those profits. Hence I cannot pay. But that's a no, you couldn't know all of that before. But people shouldn't be writing you and asking you for their bonus.
Well, you know, that's our next question. You see that discussion from a employment law standpoint.
Yeah.
That's a whole discussion I would like to have one day.
Yes.
I mean, real discussion I would want to have one day with with the public, and things like pay for performance and negotiation and trade union negotiation and why we should negotiate it, why negotiation structures in Trinidad and Tobago is bad and is without thinking.
Yes. Yes,
You know?
and the government has to. Well, we saw the communique in the proposed changes of the Industrial Relations Act, as we were talking at the end of the show yesterday. We haven't seen the fine details because they say it's before the AG in the drafting stage.
Oh,
But-
the drafting stage?
Yes,
All right,
it's
right,
in the
right.
drafting stage.
Right, so if that's the
Good.
case, then a lot of things that we talk about, they could deal with it.
We could still see, but you're right. A lot of the promises will not be made manifest if you don't change certain things in the IRA.
Yeah, don't change certain
And there
things,
will be more frustration with workers.
Yeah.
If you don't fast track, you know, because remember you're dealing with.
Yeah, change certain things. Yeah.
You have to
It's
change
not.
certain
It's not, we in Trinidad and Tobago we have this automatic, this expectation of automatic increase every year, and that kind of, in the real world, right, where companies operate, pay from profits and that kind of thing.
Yes.
Income and expenditure and that kind of thing.
Yes.
It's simply mathematics.
Yeah.
Right? So we give you a bonus. The bonus is a performance bonus. If we didn't perform, we can't give you a bonus. If we perform 10%, we give it, a 10% bonus accordingly. So
well, one would appreciate that public sector wage negotiations are fundamentally different.
Yes, it
and
is.
To the extent to which that is really a negotiation is really limited. That really shouldn't be the word, to be honest, because the parameters are set by the CPO, who gets his instructions from the Minister of Finance.
Yes, from the Minister of
So you
Finance.
really have to negotiate within a corridor. But it also calls for progressive trade unionism.
Of course it
And
does.
Because you can negotiate for other things.
Exactly.
Good. And I know, for instance, in the collective agreement of Yara,
We still in a progressive society where we have 24 hours that we could work.
Yeah.
Right. We still have everybody working 8 to 4, and fighting up on the road to get on the road when we could stagger hours. We could do so many different things.
yeah,
all
there are
those
other
things,
things to, and for
So,
the,
so you have more productivity. You have more people working. You have more productivity on the island. You have you have more business activity.
to a large extent, most trade union leaders have been stuck in the age and the dispensation of wage negotiation.
Yes.
Final wage negotiations. But, in private sector, your total compensation is made up of a lot of other things. Your wage might just be one. And those other things have monetary values. Good? When you get a disallowance and that allowance and that other allowance, your true salary. Good? So you can also use other intuitive ways.
Even simple thing like days off and thing, that's a monetary thing.
Correct. Because it has a effect on the employer and the books. So often enough, and I refer to the judgment I was in, where, as I always refer to with the SBA and Justice Kokaram, we take the money and leave everything else on the table. So you find without a large increase in money, workers are unsatisfied and very, very frustrated because the other things have not been resolved. The other issues that have nothing to do with wages are pending 12 and 15 years as well. Good? And that is the truth of negotiations, and those things need to be addressed because there are other benefits. If you look at workers in high-paying jobs, their salary is one thing, but look at the benefits that are there for the workers.
What truly motivates the intrinsic elements of compensation that really motivates them. It's so much you're in a high paying job. The money, you're not motivated by money anymore, but you're motivated by the other intrinsic elements that say something that makes your life better.
Yeah. And those things, even though they're just called allowances and non-salary items, they do have a cash
Of course,
value.
they do. When a company gets sabbatical leave, you know that has a huge cash value on it.
Yeah. Well, and then that recruit somebody who you have to give a gratuity when they leave, because you coming back, that person going. So and there are other progressive. I did like what the act suggested some of the reforms, because even other forms of leave is something that progressive trade unions could because right now you need sick leave and occasional and think that whole public service thing, but there are other things happening in the life of a worker.
Correct.
Good. Do we have productive workers? What about the whole productivity discussion? And hopefully that is where this union, God help them, will go in the future. Because you still have teachers living in Toko and teaching in town. When that coming up? When you talking about that? Good. Because you have that affected on both sides. The students, who your clientele, and your workers. What type of worker is that when I had to leave home 3 o'clock in the morning? This is not factory or industry. Good. What type of worker do you expect to stand before children and I leave home 4 o'clock? Does a parent leave home their own child to go to see about another? If you have to leave home 4 o'clock and you're a mother to get to a school, what time you have to drop your son to school? Your son lying with the security? And who is looking after him? So you have children, and you see it on the nation's roads, who the bag pack 4, 5 o'clock. They have to charge it. They're in school, saying down with the security. Some might be sleeping on themselves. The teachers ain't coming. So there are a lot of issues for unions. I just give an example. Don't want to get into that too much. Where there are other issues that are part of the collective bargaining process that we don't really talk about or enunciate, you know, because we focused on wages, because wages, I guess, affects everyone. But they're not the only issues. They're not the only issues. But this government, Senior Matheson, has a responsibility to have a dialogue with the public and be real.
They do.
Yeah, you cannot lose the election. You already won, right? And you're not campaigning anymore. Good?
Although some of them appear like the campaign.
Oh, yeah, some people still campaigning, unfortunately. Some people still trying to sell this and sell that and sell the other. But and let me say to all of them who are listening, please do not tell us anything more about the PNM. Because when the PNM was there, I didn't appreciate it either. Govern. You have been given a mandate to govern and to bring down water from heaven, and the powers of Jaja do exactly that. And forget, oh my God.
Forget about the PNM.
I'm begging for Dr. Rowley. Get Dr. Rowley arrest someone. Please. Yeah. Let the man go in the little retirement.
Although Kamala was renting a space and he had for...
Correct. I think it's a little relationship there, you know. But I know it's inevitable. I didn't want to hear it and I don't want to hear it now. We're coming up to the 1-year anniversary. Let me see what you could do. Remember that was song, I Come to Show What Police Can Do? In April of the election.
April, 5 months, 4 months from now.
You know it about song, I Come to Show What Police Can Do?
Babylon Boops.
Yes.
Show us Constable Brown.
Constable Brown. Show us what you can do. Forget that. Let me do, you know, forget who this and don't tell me who takes how much and who take that watch. Let me forget our rhetoric. Stop telling me who thief.
Especially for they're locking up nobody.
Correct, because we heard the wheels of justice turn slow, you know, but sure. And people go make jail. I see that on the trail. A big file pull out. We go lock them up.
You know, all I ever see that.
So is the public the fooling then?
I don't know. All in all, they're gonna lock up nobody. Oh gosh. Save you with all that bleep.
Save you all that job. Yeah. Every day they threaten to lock up somebody or they're busting our file. And you know, as we laugh about that, you know, the public is getting caught up.
Yeah. People quarreling and all that.
Our politics can destroy families,
Yeah,
work
but
friends.
sit in Tobago, the woman say, I know you. We know each other. You jump kicking me and all kind of thing.
Yes, that is very, very harsh, you know, and that brings us to the article. I am going to press charges. And if you were not aware, this had to do with a clash in Tobago between supporters of the TPP.
I think she in personal charge.
And the
She might say,
PNM.
look, listen, we win already, or we get vindication.
Nah, that win had nothing to do with my bruises. I have my bruises. You take your win. She said.
Which one said the press charge? The PNM?
No, the TPP lady. The TPP lady, I'm looking for her name, Miss Bruce, who was attacked. She was pulled from her car in Bon Accord by supporters of the PNM while she was participating in a motorcade.
Oh, so she was in a motorcade and pulled her from the car.
Good. She said they pulled my flag off and they burnt it. And in the end result of it, they beat me up to where I end up going to the hospital. Miss Bruce said she sustained bumps and bruises and suffered aches and pains, which she got a painkiller because you know that's all you're getting in the hospital. Good?
Even if you're drinking.
Yeah, you don't know. It was there for everybody to see. One jump kicked me in my head. You tell me you see the jump kick.
Yeah, I see some serious jump kick.
It was some serious karate.
A woman, a young woman, but some in a short pants.
Right.
Serious Wang Yu thing.
Wang Yu. Wang Yu. I got a lot of headache and stuff last night, but I'm okay now. If I had to do it all over again, I would not be lured into a situation like that. I would just drive away. But I was upset. I didn't interfere with the people, and they were the ones who interfered with me and attacked me. Good? I guess you must have seen where I had a knife. I took it out of my car. My hope was when they see it, they would leave me alone, but you were wrong. They came around the back of my car, came to my driver's seat.
You get some broomstick.
Yeah, and did a number on me. Good? She said, I never voted so early in my life.
Oh,
good? I always vote in the PM as opposed to the AM.
But she went and vote one time.
But I couldn't sleep. And by 5 o'clock, I was making my way to the polls.
So PNM beat themselves out the elections then?
Well, Oleshina never interfere with this lady because clearly she don't really go to the polls that early. Good? She don't really go to the polls that early. So she said that, you know, she suffered. Okay, I see Mr. Keith. I see you calling here. You want to chime in? Good afternoon, sir.
Yes, good afternoon and welcome, Senior Umpire Mattisman.
Yeah. Good afternoon.
All right.
He have some red mango and thing for you. Bring back some red mango and some Benny ball and sugar cake, and I don't know if he is indulging those things.
What I want is Paco water.
Yeah? Paco water. You see the woman was doing all the jump kick and things.
She had Paco water.
That she drinking Paco water.
I don't want no belly ball and no sugar cake to give me sugar.
There is an diabetes.
Yeah. You mentioned something a while ago with Bustamante and Manley, the normal the senior Norman Manley.
Yeah.
They said about the violence. The violence was already in the 70s and 80s when we had Michael Manley and Siaga.
Yes.
That is when Bob Marley went on the stage and he sang the song One Love.
Yeah.
You understand? Is there a correction? Everybody make the mistake. It's just that Bustamante and Norman Manley were first cousins in Jamaica, you know. But they were both trade unionists. Yeah.
But I always started. Yeah. I always thought it started at the end of their era, and And it went on to the better part of the 80s.
Yeah. Well, it was heightened in the Siaga and Michael Manley era. That's when Manley tried with a little bit of socialism, you know, politics, socialist politics, and apparently the American government didn't like that, and that's why up to today, the PNP, the People's National Party, it was the Manley Party. They can't win election in Jamaica. Is the JLP, right? JLP all the time. Even the last election, I think last year, the JLP, the PNP lost.
That was the Siaga party before.
Yeah. Now the JLP is the Siaga party.
Yes, the JLP I'm talking about.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's how it was there. Anyhow, I noticed something on the TV. A very old lady, which I call a remnant of the, right? A remnant. That is the people who was born before the independence and still living today, right? They call them remnant people. But they're a new term they have in politics, huh? Remnant people. And the lady was saying, she has been about her 80s, and she was saying, you know what? The news reporter was asking her about how the election and thing, how the polling went and thing, in terms of when she went in the poll, and she was telling she said, hey, I don't come out for big national election, or she said big election, I think that's the word she used. But when it's the bigger election, she making sure she came out, and that's to tell you how that is nationalistic, the bloodline of the Ethiopian people, that they take this House of Assembly election more seriously than the national elections, you know.
You think so, right?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah. They take the nationalist election. They take the THA. Yeah, with more power. Yeah. And that's because of the nationalistic work of people like Robinson and Winston Murray, who it was. He's the most nationalistic out of all them Caribbean politicians when he was alive. Because I told you, Robinson transplanted him from West Point Academy and gave him a seat to fight in Tobago national elections. In Trinidad and Tobago national elections, and this Murray, Dr. Winston Murray, he planted his own flag, anti Tobago flag, in somewhere in Tobago East, and that was a big issue in the press at that time. Yeah. So Watson, all these people, Watson, Duke Fally, all of them would have grown up under Winston Murray, right? And a kind of a kind of nationalistic, strong will, you understand? So that is why they will push for this self-determination and autonomy, and well, self-determination and autonomy is just an academic word as in autonomy, right? So that is how that went. So I just showing you how that's why the Tobago patriotic feeling is different to our feeling here. And another point, Tobago being what they call a homogeneous society, that means more or less is one ethnic group, right? So it have no plural society there. People will say, well, people will, according to Cherry Jagan, nobody in Tobago are voting a Punjab. You understand? Yeah. So that is how it is, man. So
Colin, how do you think? What do you think about the little skirmish between the little fight with the supporter? What do you make of that? Is it a growing trend?
I mentioned that before in the when I first contributed.
Yes.
And you see, that is nationalism, because it comes again like what they call negative entropy, right? That means all of us belong to one group, right? But I leave the group now and I want to attack my original group, right? So what is happening now? The lady I think the lady in red, she attacked the lady in the blue.
Right.
I think that was how it is. I wasn't there, so I talking what I see in the thing, right? But what the whole point is that lady, fine, the lady in blue should not be participating. Well, if I see both of them, each of them find, you know, we Tobago, it comes back to the Tobago is we. Right?
But caller, you see that word negative entropy that you use? That's a new word for me, right? But you had used that word in relation to, you remember when who was Dinoon, the PNM man at Cross and went over to the Dinoon, right?
Yes.
And went across, and you said that wouldn't really work for Fally because that would have been a little negative entropy. And you reference also what would have happened in Trinidad and Tobago. I mean, in Trinidad, in elections with those that would have crossed. What say you now that because I know you was one of the persons who really called this election, and he called this election, you call this election, and you call this election accurate. What do you think about that? The fact that the crossing, did you think that it had any effect on the results?
The gentleman, I think he was a Dillon or something. So that was the gentleman name.
Yeah, he was chairman of I think it's
But you see, he will have won because of the Tobago is we. That slogan, right? And there's your negative entropy. You know, it might have a little a negative impact because the main thing is that he left his group, which was the PNM, right? He came to the TTP, right? But because of that slogan, right, Tobago is we. So it's a nationalistic fight, right? And the fight, you know, the brotherhood fight.
So you're saying they're saying that nationalism kind of supersede that negative entropy.
Yes. That nationalism supersedes that. Right? Because maybe if the fight wasn't Tobago is we, maybe the negative entropy would have kicked in, and he could have very well lost his seat.
But how come Tobago? I mean, how come you know PNM didn't see that? I mean PNM fought this fight vigorously, and I mean there's something I'm looking at conversation with Dr. Rowley. I say, but these are general elections. They were seen that as existential. You don't think?
Yeah, but the PNM, of course. But the PNM now make this perennial mistake since 1984 in particular. That was our assembly election when Mr. Robinson became the first chairman. Right? This wholesale grouping, they bring up PNM party people into the party groups and whatever it is, and party members of Tobago. That is aggravate the Tobagonians too.
Yes.
That is why Mr. Robinson in 84 said
fighting election the same way they've been fighting it since in the 80s, boy.
Yes, yeah. You have to leave the Tobagonians, let them fight among themselves. Right? Robinson said Trinidadians were foreigners in that election locally. That Tobago was assembly election in 1984. Yeah, that is when the DAC, under the DAC, I think the DAC won 8, was 12. The DAC won 8 and the PNM got 4 seats. That time Chambers was the Prime Minister at that time. And the wholesale, they took PNM people and members to go to vote, to visit and canvass.
All that time they are up on what the Gelton.
Let me hear you.
They are going up on what the Gelton.
Well, Gelton and it was the airline too. I think it was BWI. I think it was BWI still.
Yeah.
In 1984. Yeah. And they keep repeating, and that makes the Tobagonians angry.
Yeah.
Right? And they have to put a stop to that. As the Tobagonians see a Trinidadian coming to campaign in front of their house or their home, is a different species.
Right? Mind your business. Are we business?
Yeah. Is are we boy and are we girl?
Are we boy?
Correct. Yeah.
Correct.
Anyhow, Anyhow, let me get somebody else to talk.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
So, in the little time that we have left, callers, tell us, do you think political parties in Trinidad should be sending members to Tobago
The campaign.
to campaign and be involved in the elections, whether it be the PNM, the UNC, we ain't been to. Do you think that Trinidad parties, even if they have branches in Tobago, should be as involved in their local politics? Understand the question for me when you call. Do you think the Trinidadian parties, whether it's the home base, whatever it is, should they be
UNC was up
involved?
there? The UNC was up there?
No, not as a party.
They
No.
stay outside.
Yes, and wisdom. Do you think they should be as involved? Do you think they should be getting involved in the elections in Tobago? Good afternoon, caller.
Good afternoon, gentlemen, and good afternoon to your listeners. My response to your question is no, but on the next hand, I find Tobago really supposed to send some people in Trinidad to see if they can assist us out of the problem that we have in down here, because it seems like Tobago understands what it is to be fed up of accepting certain things from people who were there for a numerous amount of time, right? And apparently they don't understand that we can't accept certain things from all anymore. So I wish Tobago could really lend us some of what it takes that they have to throw our support in Trinidad here behind something blue as well, yes? It's time Tobago go blue too.
All right, caller, thanks.
You remember when Fali and Watson did win the election the first time?
Yeah, they were to launch a party. Yeah,
they was trying to launch a party in Trinidad.
Yeah, yeah.
And that was that was the Kiesel and all that kind of era.
Yeah, yeah. Good afternoon, caller.
Yeah, again, good afternoon, Ronaldo. Good afternoon, Stephen. I see you coming.
Yeah.
Yeah, I came in early in the game, but well, I listened to the whole position, and the only thing I could end the program in saying that what I came in with early, it still end up ending the program, because I hear the once or twice people talk about the autonomy. And that word keep coming up because as a brother who sit down and understanding the philosophy, psychology, and sociological consciousness of things, putting it together, we have an existence which is Tobago. And Tobago existence desires certain things, living with certain things, and not satisfied of living certain things where they know the desire and can't get in the desirability. So, in that context, I put the consciousness to realize the vexness of the mind of Togonian. So don't care how the politics may switch and turn, it comes down to the same content that both of all you come to understanding, because Ronaldo said earlier on before you came in, Stephen, and you come back and use the same word of the autonomy, and even Aruka come and put down the same consciousness. So we all was blending into say the reality of the philosophy that missing. And don't care how we think, we must have to try to see how best we could create that atmosphere for Tobago, because that is what, if you study the boat, if you have to study the airlift, if you study all these things and realize all the direction they're talking for years is to get their own autonomy. Well, they may say the words better than me, but I keep on watching the philosophy, psychology, and sociological consciousness of things. And I help Sawyer. I don't know who does want to take the help, but I have a lone of opposition street man who tend to try to blend with everybody to bring a what we may call the wisdom of our country. And if we don't want to hear, well, we don't want to hear. And I keep on saying also that we need a third force. That third force is of the people, so that they could be in position to monitor and lobby for themselves what they desire out of the government that we put as representatives in position to deal with ministries and the hierarchies. I will leave it there because it closed, it's short, I can't say more, but I said to close the story of what all and all been talking all time now until this moment. Well, you have a good night. Until tomorrow, please God. Everybody, you and Trinidad and Tobago. Thank you.
Close the program.
Yeah, Prezi, you remind me of a lecturer there, boy.
Yeah, no, but
The
Prezi,
antecedents.
a lot of people doesn't understand Prezi, eh?
Yeah.
Prezi does make a lot of sense, you know. But what I don't know if it's utopia, what he talking, if it could ever happen. I mean, that third force, if you comment at third force, don't name it third force, right? But the thing is, maybe we want a different kind of political understand, not political understand, but a different political wave in Trinidad and Tobago that understand the needs of the people, and also one that understand how to bring the people together. And I should say that might be the force that might bring the people together in the way that it should bring the people. But to do that, you have to have the resources, and you have to have, and Trinidad and Tobago have to have the resources and that kind, because people not coming for nothing.
No.
You know, so people Trinidad and Tobago are listening to talk and thing again. I mean, you had to prove that you could do X, Y, or Z, everything that they say.
And this is not other societies where people want to debate and people want things.
Correct.
People coming for you, but we have for me, you know, and we have seen the trend, and it was trending in Tobago. Some people want the 2 jersey now.
Yeah.
But we could play football in it.
We want jersey.
You know, we want to, we taking jersey, you know.
After the day I wear it, I can't wear it again.
No. We won't play Juve.
You can't wear it to go to work.
Yeah, make a nice Juve turn and thing. But the point is, people are into it for a lot of tangible things. You know? You could promise me things on your campaign trail, but you see when we come out and waving flag and climbing chalk, pass something, Mr. Matteson, pass something, eh? And we hungry too, eh?
You have to pass something,
yeah.
If you pass nothing.
Feeding them is also a part of it, eh?
Yeah, I mean, elections are very expensive.
Very expensive thing.
Very, very expensive undertaking. And
so, Mr. Matteson, we are 20 seconds under, you close us.
Well, I mean, I came in late. We had a good show today. We discussed the Tobago elections again. And clearly, the public understand it the way we understand it. And we look forward to having discussions with you on the issues tomorrow again. And so we would be leaving you now until tomorrow.
You've got bills to pay, and so do we. Let's go pay some bills on the street 919 FM.
Nature's Touch Massage Therapy and Nutrition and Nature's Touch Youth Health Caravan invites you to join us live on the Street 919 FM every second and fourth Friday morning from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. We are located at number 3, 7th Avenue North via the Eastern Main Road, Barataria. For further information, please call or WhatsApp the numbers 398-8282 or our office numbers 241-7568 and 310-8671. Remember, at Nature's Touch, your health is our responsibility.
You want to find something great to do with